student, we are going to start next topic, that is kinetic theory of gases and radiation. Kinetic, this is the name given to motion. Kinetic theory. So we are applying this motion for the gas molecules. Now we know that in a given system of gas, there are a large number of identical particles, molecules. They possess random motion. They move in different directions. Now during their motion, what happens? They are colliding with the other particles. All molecules collide with each other, due to which they exert force. There is exchange of momentum, exchange of energy is also there, due to which the temperature of the system goes on changing. Okay, the kinetic energy of the molecules goes on changing if their speed is changing, etc. Or if the molecules are colliding with each other, they also collide with the surface of the container. During that collision, again there is change in momentum. They exert force on the wall of the container. They exert pressure on the surface of the container where the gas is filled. Like this, gas exert pressure. So गैस मॉलिक्यूल जो है ना, उसको मोशन होता है, और मोशन की वजह से उसको जो सारे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक वो पोजेस करेगा, तो वो सब हम यहां स्टडी कर रहे हैं इन द काइनेटिक थ्योरी. नाउ you here remember that when we apply kinetic theory or the gas laws for motion of the gas molecules, there are some assumptions. Actually हम kinetic theory किसके लिए apply करते हैं? Obviously gas के लिए. कौन से gas के लिए apply करते हैं? Ideal gas के लिए. Ideal gas क्या होता है? Gas which obeys ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. वो obey करता है equation. But do we apply all the gas laws to real gases also? As well as we can apply this kinetic theory for real gases also. But for that, there are some assumptions. Real gases माने कौन सा? देखो, एटमॉस्फेयर में जो ऑक्सीजन होता है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, वो जो गैसेस है उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? रियल गैसेस. आइडियल एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिकल गैस नहीं है, हमने अजम किया है. आइडियल गैस ये अजम्पशन है, ठीक है. तो सीधा assumptions of kinetic theory क्या है? देखो assumption number 1. According to this first assumption, gas consists of a system of gas that consists of number of identical particles, and all these identical particles they are termed as molecules. Now for a given gas, all molecules they are identical in size and shape. देखो अगर ऑक्सीजन गैस हमने लिया, हर एक मॉलिक्यूल का शेप सेम है, साइज सेम है, उसका डायमीटर सेम है. ओके, सो ऑल द मॉलिक्यूल्स दे आर very much identical in size and shape. For the same gas, the molecules are identical. Getting? For the same gas, ठीक है. ऑक्सीजन गैस molecules वो अलग हो गए, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड molecules अलग हो गए, नाइट्रोजन molecules अलग हो गए, ठीक है. पर अगर नाइट्रोजन के molecules हमने कंसिडर किया तो सारे molecules एक जैसे होंगे, ठीक है. Then second assumptions, molecule of a gas, it is rigid and perfectly elastic sphere. देखो rigid का मतलब क्या है? Rigid means size and shape of the molecule does not change. अगर हमने force भी apply किया तो उसका size वही रहेगा. Actually these are the point masses, तो उसका size shape change हो ही नहीं सकता बेटा. Perfectly elastic sphere. Perfectly elastic का मतलब क्या है? टेनिस बॉल जैसा, टेनिस बॉल जैसा. If I throw that on the surface of the wall, they get rebound. तो ये जो molecules है ना, ये rebound हो सकते हैं. If they collide on each other, the collisions between the molecules are perfectly elastic collision, and in the perfectly elastic collision, there is no loss of kinetic energy. सब आपको पता है, mechanics में आपने study किया है. तो क्या है ये? Perfectly elastic spheres. The collision will be perfectly elastic. इसके बाद assumption number 3. तो देखो, according to third assumption, in a system of gas, the molecules are in random motion. Random motion means ये molecule ऐसा, ये इसका मन चाहा तो ऐसे ऐसे जा सकता है, फिर ऐसे जाएगा, फिर ऐसे जाएगा. And वो जो molecule है, during its motion it will collide with other molecules. It will collide with other molecules. But remember, between two successive collision, the molecule travel a straight line path. देखो एक molecule मैंने figure में दिखाया है, this molecule, it is at position A. The molecule is going from A to B. ये जो molecule है ना A से B की तरफ जा रहा है. तो देखो ये molecule उसका collision हुआ है. This is first collision. This is first collision. First collision के बाद वो क्या करेगा? It will travel straight line distance. It will collide with this molecule. This is second collision. And during these two collision, gas molecule travel in straight line. देखो ये दो collision के बीच में ऐसा सीधा जाएगा straight line में. ऐसा नहीं कि ये ऐसा 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 घूम के फिर इधर जाएगा, फिर collision होगा. No, it will travel in straight. This is our assumption. Gas molecule travel in straight line between two successive collisions. तो इन दोनों के बीच में वो straight line distance cover करेगा. And the velocity of the molecule between two collision remain constant. Again, this is our assumption. क्या है? A से B तक जाते वक्त उसका स्पीड कैसे है? कांस्टेंट. ठीक है, A से B तक जाते वक्त उसका स्पीड कुछ है v1, B से C तक कुछ v2 है. यहाँ स्पीड 5 है तो यहाँ 5.1 भी हो सकता है, 5.2 भी हो सकता है. बट A से B तक जाते वक्त उसका स्पीड हम क्या मान लेंगे? 5. दैट इज कांस्टेंट. ओके, so it will travel with constant speed between two collision. Between two collision it will travel with constant speed. ठीक है. Then next assumption is there, the time required for actual collision is negligible, it's very small as compared to time interval between two collision. देखो ये जो molecule है ना, इसका collision हुआ है, collision के लिए कितना टाइम लगेगा बेटा? वेरी स्मॉल, एक 10 raised to -4 सेकेंड, -3, -9 सेकेंड. उसके बाद फिर वो आराम से बी तक जाएगा. ये ऐसा हमारा assumption है. ए से बी तक जाने को उसको सिर्फ 1 सेकेंड, 2 सेकेंड, 3 सेकेंड लग रहा है. ठीक है, और कोलिजन के लिए सिर्फ 10 raised to -4 सेकेंड, -6 सेकेंड लग रहा है. So that -6 second is very small as compared to 1 second. So the time for actual collision is very small as compared to time between two successive collisions. ठीक है. Again here we are assuming that though molecule travel from one point to other point in a system of gas, there is no intermolecular forces between the two molecules. जो गैस के दो molecules है ना बेटा, उसमें intermolecular force कितना होता है? 0. Why? Because their intermolecular distance are much larger as compared to the molecules of liquid and solids. Therefore, we assume that the intermolecular force is 0. ये कब होगा? If the intermolecular distance is sufficiently large. अगर मैंने गैस बहुत ही कंप्रेस कर दिया, पूरा ये जो हॉल है, इस हॉल में जो गैस है वो उस पर मैंने कंप्रेसर अप्लाई किया, कंप्रेस करते 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 एक माचिस बॉक्स है, मैच बॉक्स, उसमें मैंने उस सब मॉलिक्यूल को बिठा दिया, तो अब तो इंटरमॉलिक्यूलर फोर्स 0 नहीं होगा. ठीक है, अब तो 0 नहीं होगा, अब हम कंसिडर करेंगे, लेकिन वो अलग बात है. Here we are assuming that the intermolecular force is 0, and for that we assuming that the actual volume of the gas, real volume of the gas is much greater as compared to total volume of the gas molecules. देखो ये कब पॉसिबल है? अगर गैस मॉलिक्यूल्स का हम वॉल्यूम कंसिडर करेंगे, टोटल वॉल्यूम ऑफ द गैस मॉलिक्यूल्स, दैट इज वेरी स्मॉल एज कंपेयर टू रियल वॉल्यूम ऑफ द गैस. ये जो हॉल है, हॉल में जो गैस फिलअप किया वो अगर हमने कंप्रेस किया और एक के पास एक ऐसा मॉलिक्यूल अरेंज किया तो बहुत ही छोटा वॉल्यूम तैयार होगा. वो क्या है? टोटल वॉल्यूम ऑफ गैस मॉलिक्यूल्स, बट दैट इज वेरी small, negligible as compared to the real volume, getting the real volume of the gas. Then there is another assumption. If we are considering that system of gas at a given temperature, at certain temperature, then the kinetic energy of the gas molecule remain constant. Kinetic energy per mole remain constant, or kinetic energy of that system will remain constant. Kinetic energy, that is average kinetic energy. So we say that the average kinetic energy of a system of gas is directly proportional to absolute टेम्परेचर। बेटा इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब अगर हमने उसका टेम्परेचर बढ़ा दिया, इफ temperature of the system of gas increases, kinetic energy of every molecule increases, kinetic energy per mole increases, kinetic energy of the whole system increases. So these are the things about the assumption of kinetic theory. Then after that we'll discuss some basic from gas motion. Now next term is free path of the gas molecule. Here, during the motion, the gas molecule is freely traveling from one point to another point. ये ऐसा freely जाता है ना, इधर से इधर ऐसे freely जाता है ना. तो देखो, दो कोलिजन के बीच में भी ये freely जाएगा. freely का मतलब क्या है? उस पे दूसरा एक्सटर्नल फोर्स नहीं होगा, दूसरा कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स वो एक्सपीरियंस नहीं करेगा. सो ये फ्रीली ऐसा जाएगा. इस पॉइंट पे उसका कोलिजन होगा, फिर वो बी पॉइंट पे जाएगा, उधर एक कोलिजन होगा, फिर एक सी पॉइंट पे उसका एक कोलिजन होगा. तो हम ये अज्यूम करते हैं कि दो कोलिजन के बीच में स्ट्रेट लाइन डिस्टेंस कवर करते हैं ना. सो दैट स्ट्रेट लाइन डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय द मॉलिक्यूल between two successive collisions, it is called as free path of the molecule. ऐसे कितने free path possible है बेटा? बहुत सारे. जितने collision है, जितने बार molecule collide होगा, उतने सारे free path हो गए. So there are a number of free path for a given molecule. तो हमें अगर free path का concept apply करना है यहाँ mathematically, तो हमें एक ही free path लेना पड़ेगा उसका. That is called as mean free path. हम क्या करेंगे? Average लेंगे. हम क्या करेंगे बेटा? Average लेंगे. So this is average free path, mean free path. Mean free path, as the name indicates, this is the average value of free path for all the gas molecules, or for n number of collisions. If we find the free path, then it is the mean free path. Lambda 1 plus lambda 2 up to lambda n divided by n. Here n is the number of molecules. ने सब molecules के लिए free path इकट्ठा किया, so ये average free path बन जाएगा. ठीक है? And mathematical we write that as 1 upon root 2 into pi d square n by v, where n number of molecules v volume. Number of molecules per unit volume अगर ये constant है, तो free path किस पे depend है? Diameter पे. It is inversely proportional to square of diameter of the gas molecule. ये आपका CT का क्वेश्चन बन सकता है. Okay? If the diameter of the gas molecule increases, mean free path goes on decreasing. ठीक है? अगर mean free path और किस पे भी डिपेंड होता है? Depends upon pressure also. देखो हमने अगर प्रेशर बढ़ा दिया, तो गैस कंप्रेस हो जाएगा. डिस्टेंस बिटवीन टू मॉलिक्यूल्स प्रैक्टिकली डिक्रीजेस, मीन फ्री पाथ आल्सो डिक्रीजेस. अगर हमने वो सिस्टम से थोड़ा सा गैस विड्रॉ किया, ऐसा भी क्वेश्चन आ चुका है एग्जाम को. सम ऑफ द गैस इज withdrawn from the system, then what about the mean free path? तो क्या हो जाएगा? प्रैक्टिकली अगर 100 मॉलिक्यूल्स है, थोड़ा गैस निकाल लिया तो 50 ही बचेंगे. तो 50 तो इजीली इधर उधर जाएंगे ना. तो 50 मॉलिक्यूल के लिए वही वॉल्यूम है. सो मीन फ्री पाथ गोज ऑन इंक्रीजिंग. सो इफ द मास ऑफ द गैस reduces, if we withdraw some gas, then mean free path obviously increases. ठीक है? Then there are some terms related to motion of the gas molecule, velocity of the gas molecule. Now let a system consist of n molecules. How many? N molecules. Let C1 bar, C2 bar, C3 bar up to Cn bar be the velocities of n number of molecules of the gas. Now we can write the average speed of the gas, average velocity of the gas. Average speed, this is the average value of speed of n number of molecules. This is C1 plus C2 up to Cn divided by n. उसके बाद हम मीन स्क्वायर भी निकालते हैं. मीन स्क्वायर कैसे निकालने का? The mean value of squares of velocities of all the gas molecules, that is called as mean square velocity. And अगर उसका square root लिया हमने, तो वो क्या मिलेगा हमें? RMS velocity. So this formula for RMS velocity under root of C1 square, C2 square up to Cn square divided by n, square root of mean square velocity, that is RMS velocity. ये formula हमें बाद में apply करना है. ठीक है? Now next point, this is about the expression for pressure exerted by the gas. Now just I told you that if we consider the system of a gas in a closed container. Then what happens? Inside that particular volume, the molecules are having motion, they have random motion. सब molecule को random motion होता है. During their motion, the gas molecules are colliding with each other. They are colliding with the surface of the container. There is exchange of momentum, and during that exchange of momentum, the force is exerted by the gas molecules on the walls of the container. तो यही हम expression हम बेटा यहाँ derive कर रहे हैं, क्या? Pressure वाला expression. Now here we assume that there is a cubical container, L length of each side of the cube. ये आपको cube दिख रहा है, ठीक है? Let V is volume of the cube. Volume of the cube is equal to L cube. A surface area of each face of the cube. How many faces are there? 6 faces. Every face will have surface area L square. Area of each surface of the cube, that is L square. अब देखो यहाँ जो गैस हमने लिया है ना, इसमें बहुत सारे मॉलिक्यूल्स होंगे. Say capital N be the number of molecules of the gas. Capital N number of molecules of the gas. We are studying motion of all these molecules. पर हम यहाँ एक assumption करेंगे. क्या assumption है? Here we assume that the origin of XYZ coordinate system is situated at one of the corner of the cube. Origin of XYZ coordinate system, it is situated at one of the corner of cube with X, Y and Z axis along the 3 edges. ठीक है? तो मैं XYZ coordinate system assume कर रहे हैं N molecules है. अब N molecules का तो पूरा जो motion है एक ही direction में नहीं होगा. Out of that N molecules, say N/3 molecules are possibility है, ये हम assume कर रहे हैं. Out of that N molecules, say N/3 are traveling along X axis, N/3 are traveling along Y axis, and remaining N/3 are traveling along Z axis. बेटा ये हमारा assumption है, ठीक है? Say 9 molecules थे, 3 along X axis, 3 along Y axis and 3 along Z axis. So we consider now motion of N/3 molecules. They are traveling along X axis. वो जो N/3 उसमें से एक molecule consider करो. Consider first molecule. Say having mass m1. पहले molecule का mass है suppose m1. Consider first molecule having mass m1 and having velocity c1. तो देखो हम यहाँ assume कर रहे हैं कि हर molecule का जो mass है वो same है. So m1, m2, m3 up to mn same. तो हर molecule का mass हम assume करेंगे m. So mass of molecule is m and its velocity is c1. It is traveling with speed say c1. देखो ये मॉलिक्यूल यहाँ से निकलेगा, इधर जाएगा, फिर क्या होगा? देखो ये सरफेस है, उस पर कोलाइड होगा. ड्यूरिंग आफ्टर कोलिजन इट विल गेट रिबाउंड, फिर यहाँ जाएगा. तो यहाँ ये डिस्टेंस कवर करेगा L, फिर उसका फर्स्ट कोलिजन होगा, कोलिजन के बाद ये डिस्टेंस कवर करेगा L और फिर आएगा. टोटल डिस्टेंस वो कितना कवर कर रहा है? 2L ड्यूरिंग 2 कोलिजन. समझ रहे हैं ना आप? ऐसे इथे पहिला कोलिजन होईल, कोलिजन नंतर तो इकडे जाईल, म्हणजे किती डिस्टन्स कव्हर करेल? L. इकडे कुठेतरी कोलाइड होईल, पण आपल्याला ती कोलिजन नको, ह्या सरफेस बरोबरचा कोलिजन हवा. नंतर तो पुन्हा इकडे येईल, मग किती डिस्टन्स कव्हर करेल? L. So what is distance between two collisions? Distance between two collision that will be 2L. उनका वेलोसिटी कितना है? उसका वेलोसिटी c1 है. So time interval between two collision, it is total distance by velocity. Distance is 2L. Gas molecule speed is c1. This is time between two collision. तो देखो ये जो मॉलिक्यूल है ना, इस मॉलिक्यूल को कुछ तो मोमेंटम होगा. से P1 इनिशियल मोमेंटम ऑफ द मॉलिक्यूल बिफोर कोलिजन mc1. कोलाइड होने के बाद उसका जो स्पीड है वो सेम रहेगा, बट डायरेक्शन ऑफ वेलोसिटी चेंजेस. ठीक है, तो उसका वेलोसिटी कितना होगा? -c1. सो मोमेंटम बिफोर कोलिजन इज mc1 एंड आफ्टर कोलिजन इट विल बिकम -mc1. व्हाई? बिकॉज मोमेंटम इज वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. तो हम चेंज इन मोमेंटम कितना लेंगे बेटा? चेंज इन मोमेंटम दैट इज इक्वल टू फाइनल मोमेंटम माइनस इनिशियल मोमेंटम. Now change in momentum of the molecule is -mc1 minus twice of mc1, because momentum of the molecule decreases and same momentum is gained by this surface S. Same momentum is gained by the surface. So gain in momentum of the surface, it is equal to plus twice of m. समझ रहे हैं? Momentum of molecule decreases, but momentum of surface or that wall increases. So total change in momentum of the surface, ये surface के लिए लिखा हमने, change in momentum of the surface, that is twice of mc1. So we find now force exerted, force exerted by first molecule on surface S. According to Newton's second law, force is rate of change of momentum. तो हम ये कैसे लिखेंगे? चेंज इन मोमेंटम डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम, टोटल चेंज इन मोमेंटम ट्वाइस ऑफ mc1 डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम. टाइम ऑफ ये क्या है? ये जो हमने अभी वैल्यू निकाला है ना, वो यहाँ डाल दो, ठीक है. दिस इज टाइम इंटरवल बिटवीन टू कोलिजन. कितना टाइम इंटरवल बिटवीन टू कोलिजन? 12/7. 12/7, 2 कैंसल. So this become mc1 square by this is force exerted by first molecule on surface. ये फर्स्ट मॉलिक्यूल वाला फोर्स. ऐसे कितने हैं भाई मॉलिक्यूल्स? n/3 मॉलिक्यूल्स आर देयर ट्रैवलिंग अलोंग x एक्सिस एंड कोलाइडिंग विद सरफेस s. सो टोटल फोर्स एक्सर्टेड बाय n/3 मॉलिक्यूल्स mc1 स्क्वायर बाय l प्लस mc2 स्क्वायर बाय l अप टू mcn/3 स्क्वायर बाय l. तो हम क्या करेंगे? टेक m by l कॉमन इनसाइड द ब्रैकेट c1 स्क्वायर अप टू c2 square up to cn/3 square. But here this part inside the bracket c1 square up to cn/3 square. ये क्या है बेटा? This is nothing. This can be written in terms of RMS velocity. देखो अभी हमने RMS velocity का concept यहाँ स्टडी किया. RMS velocity कितना होता है? c1 square c2 square up to cn square divided by n. ये हम n/3 molecules के लिए RMS velocity लिख रहे हैं. Mean square velocity c square RMS, square of RMS, that is mean square. It is c1 square plus c2 square plus cn/3 square divided by n/3. Therefore c1 square plus c2 up to cn/3 square, n/3 multiplied by crms square. ये इतना है. Now if put this value in this bracket and we get the resultant force, total force. So the total force is m/3 into, ये वैल्यू हमने यहाँ डाल दिया, n/3 into c square. Now you write this force in terms of pressure. अब हम प्रेशर में कन्वर्ट करेंगे इसको. So pressure is force per unit area. Pressure experienced by the surface. This is force per unit area. It is equal to force exerted by n/3 molecules m by l n/3 c square divided by surface area l square. So write this as l cube बनेगा. So this is 1/3 mn c square by l cube. This is pressure exerted by the gas on the walls of the container. But we know that this term l cube, ये l cube क्या होता है बेटा? Volume of the gas. So we write pressure as 1/3 mn c square divided by v. So this is the expression for pressure. Again in this expression, this term m into n, m is mass of each molecule, n number of molecule, this is capital M, this is total mass of the gas. ये क्या है? This is total mass of the gas. So we write the pressure in terms of mass of the gas, 1/3 mn is capital M, mc square by v. But again mass of the gas divided by volume. Mass upon volume is density of the gas. So we write this same formula as P is equal to 1/3 rho c square. So this is about the expression for pressure. Then we go to next expression, expression for kinetic energy. बघा ना आपण प्रेशरचं जो एक्सप्रेशन कॅल्क्युलेट डिराइव्ह केलेला आहे त्याच्यावरून आपल्याला कायनेटिक एनर्जी कॅल्क्युलेट करते. प्रेशरचं एक्सप्रेशन लक्षात ठेवायला अगदी सोपं आहे. तुम्ही त्याला सुरुवात पाठ करू शकता. 1/3 mn c square divided by weight c. Very easy formula. Now we write this pressure in terms of kinetic energy. now kinetic energy में हम ये कन्वर्ट करेंगे. So start from this expression P 1/3 mn c square by v. मला सांगा मुलांनो प्रत्येक मॉलिक्यूलचा कायनेटिक एनर्जी किती असेल? कायनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ वन मॉलिक्यूल इज 1/2 mc square. ठीक है, 1/2 mass into velocity square, where m is mass of each molecule, c is RMS velocity. एका मॉलिक्यूलचा कायनेटिक एनर्जी असेल हाफ mc². हाफ mc². मेन मॉलिक्यूलचं किती असेल याला n ने मल्टिप्लाय करायचं. नाउ वी डिराइव एक्सप्रेशन फॉर कायनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ सिंगल मॉलिक्यूल. मग एक्सप्रेशन आपण कन्वर्ट कसं करतो बघा. टेक दिस 3 ऑन दिस साइड. So we write 3p as, we write this as mc² divided by v into n. Now we write this mc² in terms of kinetic energy. ये 3p मैंने ऐसा ही लिखा है. Now write this mc² as half mc². यह मैंने हाफ ने मल्टीप्लाई किया, सो उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करो आउटसाइड द ब्रैकेट. हाफ mc² इनसाइड द ब्रैकेट, आउटसाइड द ब्रैकेट 2. ये n by v ऐसा ही है, 2 into n by v. But we know that the part inside the bracket, half mc² is kinetic energy of single molecule, kinetic energy per molecule. So ये कितना बनेगा 1/2 mc². ये v को यहाँ डाल दो, ठीक है, ये यहाँ जाएगा. This will become 3pv by 2n. 3pv by 2n. 3 by 2 pv by n. But we know that pv, this product at the numerator, it is equal to nRT. If we are considering 1 mole of gas, for 1 mole of gas n is 1. For 1 mole of gas n is 1. So this pv is RT. So this formula becomes kinetic energy per molecule, half mc². Kinetic energy per molecule, it is equal to 3 by 2. This is, instead of pv we write RT by n. Now if we consider 1 mole of gas, the number of molecules in 1 mole of gas, this is called as Avogadro number. This is Avogadro number n0. Its numerical value is 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. You know this. This is Avogadro's number. Now if we take this ratio beta, R by n0, R is constant Avogadro number, R is constant universal gas constant, n0 constant Avogadro number. So R by n0, it is K. That K is called as Boltzmann constant. So kinetic energy per molecule, it is equal to 3 by 2 kT. ये कितना बनेगा 3 by 2 kT. ठीक है. So kinetic energy per molecule directly proportional to absolute temperature. Absolute temperature of the gas increases, kinetic energy also increases. Now we write next expression, kinetic energy per mole. एका मोलिक्यूलचं kinetic energy आपल्याला मिळालं आहे, तो एवढा आहे 3 by 2 kT. एका मोलचं kinetic energy कसं काढणार. एक मोल मध्ये किती मॉलिक्यूल्स असतात, Avogadro number. So multiply kinetic energy of one molecule by number of molecules in one mole. So kinetic energy per mole, this is kinetic energy per molecule multiplied by Avogadro number of molecules in one mole. 3 by 2 RT by n0. इसको n0 से multiply करो, n0 cancel. So this will become 3 by 2 RT. Again 3 by 2 are constant. So we say that kinetic energy per mole directly proportional to absolute temperature of the gas. ठीक है. If absolute temperature increases, decreases, accordingly kinetic energy per mole goes on changing. ह्याच्यावर बेटा क्वेश्चन आपल्याला सॉल्व करायचे आहेत. व्यवस्थितपणे हे फॉर्म्युले लक्षात ठेवा. अप्लाय करण्यासाठी खूप सोपा टॉपिक, खूप सोपा आहे हा, थोडासा मोठा आहे पण खूप सोपा आहे. सीडीचे खूप इझी क्वेश्चन्स याच्यावर येतात. ठीक आहे. देन कायनेटिक एनर्जी पर युनिट मास. कायनेटिक एनर्जी पर युनिट मास. युनिट मास म्हणजे पर किलोग्राम तो असू शकेल, पर ग्रॅम असू शकेल. If we express molecular weight in gram, this will be kinetic energy per gram. If we express molecular weight in kilogram, that will be kinetic energy per kilogram. Kinetic energy per unit mass. हा कसा काढणार मग. एका मोलचं kinetic energy आपल्याला माहिती आहे, divided by molecular weight. Kinetic energy per mole divided by molecular weight. ठीक है. Kinetic energy per mole is 3 by 2 RT upon molecular weight m. So this will become 3 by 2 RT by m. So this is expression for kinetic energy per unit mass. तर जर मुलांनो एक्झाम मध्ये तुम्हाला मॉलिक्युलर वेट दिलेला असेल तर जनरली ग्रॅम मध्ये असतो. जर तुम्हाला कायनेटिक एनर्जी पर केजी काढायची असेल त्या ग्रॅम मधल्या मॉलिक्युलर वेटला 10⁻³ ने मल्टिप्लाय करा, केजी मध्ये कन्वर्ट करा. हे कन्वर्जन व्यवस्थित करा. इफ इट इज कायनेटिक एनर्जी पर केजी, then molecular weight should be in kilogram. Remember. ठीक है. Then using the same formula of pressure, we did an expression for kinetic energy per unit volume. Okay. Now you know that pressure exerted by the gas is 1 by 3 mc square upon V. So I rearrange some terms, I write P is equal to, ये हमने ऐसा लिखा देखो 2 by 3 half mc square into n by V. Outside the bracket multiply by 2, inside the bracket divide by 2. ये 2 cancel हो जाएगा, ये यही term हमें मिल रहा है 1 half mc square n by V. Why we write like this? Because this term half mc square, this is kinetic energy of single molecule. Now this 2 by 3 will become 3 by 2 on this side, 3 by 2 PV. ये V को यहाँ लेके आओ 3 by 2 PV. It is equal to, ये क्या है, half mc square is kinetic energy of single molecule per molecule multiplied by n number of molecules, ठीक है. So kinetic energy per molecule को आपने अगर number of molecules से multiply किया तो बनेगा क्या बेटा, एवरेज काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ द गैस. ये पूरा गैस आएगा ना उसमें n नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स में. सो दिस इज एवरेज काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ द गैस एंड न्यूमेरिकली दिस इज इक्वल टू 3 by 2 PV. So this is expression for average kinetic energy. Now if we divide that kinetic energy by volume, you get average kinetic energy per unit volume. So kinetic energy per unit volume, it is equal to 3 by 2 PV divided by volume, we cancel. So this is 3 by 2 P. Hence we say that kinetic energy per unit volume is directly proportional to P, where P is absolute pressure. Absolute pressure is double, kinetic energy per unit volume also get double like this. If pressure remain constant, kinetic energy per unit volume will remain constant. Next point, this is about coefficient of absorption, reflection and transmission. So coefficient of absorption, this is a ratio of heat absorbed by the body to the heat incident on it. Reflection, this is the ratio of amount of heat reflected by the body to the amount of heat incident on it. There in this figure, this is a body and some heat is incident on it. Let Q is heat incident on the body, out of which some heat is reflected, say QR heat reflected, QA heat absorbed and QT heat transmitted. For example, reflected heat is 30%, absorbed heat 30%. Kitna bacha? 30 plus 30, 60. 40% heat will be transmitted like this. Now, if we take this ratio, absorbed to incident, it is coefficient of absorption. Reflected to incident, coefficient of reflection. Transmitted to incident amount, this is the coefficient of transmission. Now we know that the total heat incident on the body, it is written as QR plus QA plus QT. Is divided in 3 parts. Now divide this equation by Q. Divide the equation by Q. So we write Q by Q, it is equal to QR by Q, QA by Q, QT by Q. But we know that this is QR by Q is R, QA by QA, QT upon QT. So sum of the 3 coefficient A plus R plus T, it is equal to 1. Now remember this formula, this is an important relation. Then there are see some possibilities. Let us discuss some possible cases. First case, now by chance if A is equal to 1, इथे जर A 1 असेल मुलांना तर बाकी दोन्ही कोएफिशिएंट किती असतील? 0. R and T will be 0. And if A is 1 for the body, it is called as perfectly black. It is called as perfect absorber. Good absorber, perfect absorber. For example, lamp black, platinum black. Now, for a body R is equal to 1. R1 है तो remaining 2 will be 0. A and T will be 0. It's called as perfect reflector, good reflector. It is also called as perfectly white body. Third case, if T is 1, then remaining 2 coefficient is 0. A and R will be 0. And the body is called as perfect transmitter. It is also called as dithermanous body. For a dithermanous body, coefficient of transmission nearly equal to 1. Now in your textbook, the 2 different terms are mentioned. First dithermanous and second athermanous. Exactly opposite to dithermanous. This is athermanous body. Dithermanous body, there are the bodies through which the heat radiation can pass. Diathermals. Coefficient of transmission nearly equal to 1. For example, air, hydrogen gas, nitrogen gas, carbon, any gas, open window, it is also ditherminous body. We can take this as ditherminous. Atherminous, the body which does not allow heat radiation to pass through them. They are called as atherminous. अब वो कौन सा है? All metals, aluminum, copper, gold, etc. All metals. Wood. Water is also atherminous. Remember, water does not allow the heat radiation to pass through it. Water मधून heat नहीं pass होत, ठीक है? कि light radiation pass होणार, heat radiation are not pass through it. Then we go to next point, perfectly black body. देखो perfectly black माने क्या? Body which absorbs nearly all the radiant heat incident on it, that is called as perfectly black body. जर त्याच्या सरफेसवर जर काही हीट पडली तर सगळीच्या सगळी ती ॲब्सॉर्ब करून घेईल, म्हणजे आपण त्याला बोलतो परफेक्टली ब्लॅक. Perfectly black body in the universe not possible. Any body is not perfectly black. Why? Because coefficient of absorption 100%, 1, it is not possible. But for practical purpose, we consider some substances as nearly perfectly black. For example, lamp black, platinum black. आपण परफेक्टली ब्लॅक म्हणून कन्सिडर करतो. डोळ्यात घालायचं जे काजळ आहे ते ब्लॅक असतं, त्याचा पण कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ ॲब्सॉर्प्शन जो आहे तो 1 च्या जवळपास असतो. इट इज 0.96, 0.98. इफ द कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ ॲब्सॉर्प्शन दिस इज 0.96 to 0.98, it is called as perfectly black body. Now scientist Ferri had constructed artificially perfectly black body. This is artificial construction of a perfectly black body. See this figure. The artificially constructed perfectly black body, it consists of double walled hollow sphere. देखो ये sphere है, double walled, inner wall, outer wall. Space between the two walls, it is well evacuated. इथे मध्ये vacuum असेल. And inner surface of the wall, it is coated with materials like lamp black. हे inner coating तुम्हाला इथे दिसतं. It's coated with lamp black. And there is a conical projection inside the body. मग पुन्हा आपल्याला वाटेल हे conical projection कशासाठी आहे? Now this conical projection avoids the normal incidence of the radiation, because if by chance that conical projection not there, then heat entering into the black body, it is normally means perpendicular, normally incident on the surface, and you know that for normal incidence, angle of incidence 0, angle of reflection also 0. So normally incident ray, it will retrace, that radiation will retrace the path, so there will be no absorption of heat. ये अंदर आ जाता और फिर ऐसा ही फिर चला जाता, so there will be no absorption, and we have to absorb, body should absorb the radiation, and therefore there is conical projection. If there is conical projection, heat radiation incident, it is obliquely incident rays get reflected. Now this ray will suffer reflection. Within few reflection, nearly 100% it is absorbed, because after one reflection about 96-98% heat absorbed. So after few reflections, nearly all the heat get absorbed, and therefore this is called as perfectly black body. देखो ये जो बॉडी है perfectly black, उसका एरिया कौन सा है बेटा? ये एरिया सिर्फ ये सर्कुलर होल आपको दिखाई देगा ना, ये ऐसा 3 डायमेंशन हमने फिगर लिया, तो ये this is the area of perfectly black body. This is this surface area, outer surface area. This is not area of black body. ये एरिया नहीं है उसका, ये सिर्फ ये एरिया है, ठीक है? या एरियावर जे रेडिएशन्स पडतात ते ॲब्सॉर्ब करतात, हे इकडचे नाही. This surface is वेल प्लेन पॉलिश, हा पॉलिश सरफेस आहे, ह्याच्यावर पडलेलं रेडिएशन आपल्याला घेणं तर नाही आहे, ते रिफ्लेक्ट होते. हा परफेक्ट पॉलिश सरफेस आहे, हा एरिया ब्लॅक बॉडीचा. सो एरिया ऑफ द ब्लॅक बॉडी इज इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ द होल. हा तुमचा एमसीक्यू एक्झामचा. एरिया ऑफ द ब्लॅक बॉडी इज इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ द होल अँड दॅट इज इक्वल टू पाय ए स्क्वेअर. सर्कल है ना तो, सर्क्युलर एरिया. सो इट इज पाय आर स्क्वेअर, पाय स्क्वेअर. So this is about the black body. The next point, now there are a few terms related to radiation. Say radiation, heat radiation. Heat radiation, this is the largest spectra in the universe. Basically these are infrared rays. These are infrared rays. सन पासून आपल्याला सगळ्यात जास्त जे radiations मिळतात बाळांनो ते असतात हीट रेडिएशन. सगळ्यात मोठा स्पेक्ट्रा आहे तो. म्हणजे रेंज किती आहे, आपण एक एक्झामचा क्वेश्चन होता, रेंज ऑफ हीट रेडिएशन, रेंज ऑफ द स्पेक्ट्रा, इट इज फ्रॉम 8000 to 5 lakh angstrom. 8000 to 5 lakh angstrom, all the radiations are the heat radiations. ठीक आहे. सो आता एक पॉइंट आहे, प्रिहोस्ट नावाने, प्रिहोस्ट नावाचा जो सायंटिस्ट त्याने एक्सप्लेन केला, सायंटिस्ट प्रिहोस्ट had explained the concept of heat exchange. I will tell you that concept shortly. Sir, whenever in thermodynamics we consider a hot body, whenever we keep the hot body in a cooler surrounding, some surrounding, there is exchange of heat, transfer of heat. For example, there is a hot cup of tea kept on the surface of the table. What will happen afterwards? It will lose heat. It will lose heat. तो heat लॉस होणार असेल तिथं. मग आता त्यांनी त्याचा जो हीट लॉस आहे तो कसा होतो हे प्रिहोस्ट एक्सप्लेन करतो. अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रिहोस्ट, when hot body is kept in a cooler surrounding, then hot body will emit the heat. It will emit the heat per unit area per unit time. But as well as it will absorb the heat from the surrounding. मग आपल्याला ते आश्चर्य वाटू शकते की हॉट बॉडी हीट ऍब्सॉर्ब कशी करते, पण ते ऍब्सॉर्ब करते. वाय? बिकॉज heat emitted by the body or heat absorbed by the body depends upon temperature. Actually, if the body is emitting heat, heat emitted by the body depends upon temperature of body. Heat absorbed depends upon temperature of surrounding. And every body whose temperature is greater than absolute zero always emit heat. Always emit heat. If its temperature greater than absolute झिरो, म्हणजे चहाचं टेम्परेचर ॲब्सोल्यूट झिरो पेक्षा जास्त आहे, हीट एमिट करेल, हीट ॲब्सॉर्ब पण करेल. का? कारण सराउंडिंगचं टेम्परेचर ॲब्सोल्यूट झिरो पेक्षा जास्त आहे. बट हीट एमिटेड बाय द बॉडी इज मोर ॲज कम्पेअर्ड टू इट ॲब्सॉर्ब. देअरफॉर आफ्टर सम टाइम टेम्परेचर डिक्रीजेस. टेम्परेचर फायनली इट्स टेम्परेचर बिकम्स इक्वल टू टेम्परेचर ऑफ सराउंडिंग. त्याला आपण थर्मल इक्विलिब्रियम म्हणतो. आणि थर्मल इक्विलिब्रियम मध्ये पण ही प्रोसेस एक्सचेंजची चालूच असते असं प्रिहोस्ट सांगतो. अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रिहोस्ट, when temperature of the body is equal to temperature of surrounding, heat emitted by the body per unit area per unit time is equal to heat absorbed by the body per unit area per unit time. So net heat exchange is zero. So its temperature remain constant. मग तसंच आपण फ्रीज मध्ये ठेवलेला आईस घेतला आणि डिश मध्ये ठेवला तर तिथे तो हीट ॲब्सॉर्ब करेल, टेम्परेचर वाढेल, त्याचं पाणी होईल and its temperature increases till its temperature equal to temperature of surrounding. इथे पण बाळांनो काय होईल, it will absorb the heat from the surrounding. बर्फ येतो 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर, तरी तो हीट एमिट पण करेल. इट विल एमिट हीट, absorbs the heat, but heat absorb more as compared to heat emitted. Therefore its temperature increases. म्हणजे अशा पद्धतीने एखाद्या बॉडीचा टेम्परेचर वाढतो किंवा कमी होतो. अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रिहोस्ट there is heat exchange. Now there is a next point. There are basic terms in the radiation. Emissive power. Emissive power. आता मुलांनो डेली लाईफ मध्ये आपण ज्या सगळ्या बॉडीज ऑब्झर्व करतो थर्मोडायनामिक्स मध्ये, सगळ्या बॉडीज कंटिन्युअसली हीट एमिट करत असतात. कारण त्या बॉडीमध्ये ॲटम्स, मॉलिक्युल्सची सिस्टीम असेल. हे सगळे जे ॲटम्स, मॉलिक्युल्स आहेत त्यांच्यात पार्टिकल्स असतील, चार्ज पार्टिकल, अनचार्ज पार्टिकल, हे सगळ्यांना मोशन असते, रॅन्डम व्हायब्रेटरी मोशन असते, अँड ड्यू टू विच दे कंटिन्युअसली एमिट रेडिएशन्स. ओके, सो every body emits heat to the surrounding, and if its temperature is greater than absolute zero, जो Prevost सांगितोय, according to Prevost, if body temperature is greater than absolute zero, it continuously emits heat. And the radiant heat emitted by the body per net area per net time is called as emissive power. That is called as emissive power of the body. मग रेड हॉट असलेला कोळसा आपण घेतला आणि त्याच्या शेजारी गरम नसलेला कोळसा घेतला, तर जो रेड हॉट असेल चारकोल त्याचा एमिसिव्ह पॉवर जास्त असेल. and emissive power of a body at a given temperature, it is defined as heat emitted by it per net area per net time. तो जास्त हीट एमिट करत असेल त्याचा एमिसिव्ह पॉवर जास्त असेल. ठीक आहे. आता मुलांनो जर आपण ऑर्डिनरी बॉडी आणि ब्लॅक बॉडी मध्ये कंपॅरिझन केला तर ब्लॅक बॉडी ही जास्त हीट एमिट करते. ब्लॅक बॉडी ऑलवेज emit more heat to the surrounding as compared to ordinary body at a given temperature. ती जास्त heat emit करते. And therefore, if we take the ratio of emissive power of ordinary body to black body, emissive power of ordinary body divided by emissive power of black body, this ratio is constant for a body, and that is called as coefficient of emission or emissivity of a body. Emissivity property of that body. Okay, coefficient of emission or emissivity of a body. This ratio E0 upon EB, that is called as emissivity. The next point is there, Kirchhoff's law of radiation. Scientist Kirchhoff had explained one of the basic law. According to this law, if we consider any body, for that body the coefficient of emission is equal to coefficient of absorption. याचा अर्थ काय? ती बॉडी जेवढी जास्त हीट ॲब्सॉर्ब करू शकते तेवढी ती जास्त हीट एमिट पण करेल. इफ इट इज यूज ॲज ॲब्सॉर्बर इट विल ॲब्सॉर्ब मोर हीट. जर ती जास्त हीट ॲब्सॉर्ब केली आणि तिला आपण एमिटर म्हणून यूज केला, इफ इट इज यूज ॲज अ एमिटर देन इट विल एमिट मोर हीट टू द सराउंडिंग. फॉर एक्झाम्पल वी टेक अ चारकोल बॉल, पण एक चारकोल कोळशाचा एक छोटासा स्पियर घेतला and we put that spear in a furnace. भट्टी मध्ये त्याला टाकला. तर भट्टी मध्ये तो काय करेल, हीट ॲब्सॉर्ब करेल. भट्टीचं टेम्परेचर जास्त आहे, तो चारकोल जास्त हीट ॲब्सॉर्ब करेल. आता तो चारकोल आपण भट्टीतून काढला आणि बाहेर काढला तर तो जास्त हीट एमिट करेल. तर चारकोल दुसरी बॉडी भट्टीमध्ये टाकली तर ती कमी प्रमाणात हीट एमिट करेल. म्हणजे चारकोल जास्त हीट ॲब्सॉर्ब करतो, म्हणजे तो काय करतो, जास्त हीट देऊ शकतो. हे बघा, सामान्य व्यवहारामध्ये आपला कॉमन सेन्स वापरायचा. जो जास्त घेतो तोच दुसऱ्यांना जास्त देऊ शकतो, हा जो रूल आहे तोच किर्चॉफनी यूज केला. इट्स व्हेरी सिंपल. गुड एमिटर्स आर गुड absorbers. More is the coefficient of emission, more is the coefficient of absorption. Now what is coefficient of emission? Ratio of emissive power of ordinary to emissive power of black body. Absorption coefficient, heat absorbed to heat incident on it. It is denoted by A. This is E upon EB. So E upon EB is A. So we can say that emissive power of black body is equal to emissive power of ordinary body divided by coefficient of absorption. बाळांनो हा फॉर्म्युला आपल्याला न्यूमेरिकल्स मध्ये यूज करायचा. आणि किर्चॉफ्स लॉ सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची कन्सेप्ट, त्याच्यामध्ये काय घ्यायचं, गुड एमिटर्स आर ऑलवेज गुड ॲब्सॉर्बर्स. इफ वी टेक फॉर lamp black, platinum black, if we use this Kirchhoff's law, according to Kirchhoff's law, coefficient of absorption, coefficient of emission same, and for lamp and platinum black, perfectly black body, it is equal to 1. Then there is another law in radiation that is called as Stephen's law. So this is one of the famous law again. According to Stephen's law, the heat emitted, radiant heat emitted by a perfectly black body per net area per net time directly proportional to 4th power of its absolute temperature. So that radiant heat, it is depending upon its temperature. More is the temperature of the body, more is the heat emitted by the body. आणि हा जो लॉ आहे तो आपण डेली लाईफ मध्ये यूज करू शकतो. सन आपल्याला हीट देतोय, सनचं टेम्परेचर जर डबल झाला तर त्याने इमिट केलेली हीट किती होईल, टेम्परेचर डबल, हीट एमिटेड विल बिकम 2⁴, that is 16 times like this. ठीक आहे. इफ टेम्परेचर ऑफ द बॉडी increases, heat emitted goes on increasing. But we know that radiant heat emitted per unit area per unit time, it is nothing but emissive power of that black body. Especially Stephen had explained this law for black body, but we can apply for ordinary body also using some conditions. Okay? So emissive power of the black body directly proportional to T raised to 4. We can convert proportionality into equality. So here the constant of proportionality, it is sigma. What is Stephen's constant? त्याच्याच नावाचा constant आहे तो Stephen's constant. Its numerical value 5.67 10 raised to minus 8. See here, this is a magic number. तुम्ही लगेच लक्षात ठेवू शकता 5, 6, 7, 10 power minus 8 watt per meter square per degree Kelvin raised to 4. Now, we can write this emissive power of the black body like this. Heat emitted per unit area per unit time sigma T raised to 4. Therefore, heat emitted by black body is sigma into A into T raised to 4. We can apply this for ordinary body also. For ordinary body, emissive power divided by emissive power of black, coefficient of emission. So emissive power of ordinary body, it is E into EV. So we can write heat emitted, heat radiated by ordinary body as E into sigma A T T raised to 4. मुलांना हे बघा, हा जो पार्ट आहे ना, this is heat emitted by black body multiplied by coefficient of emission. It is always less than 1, ordinary body, multiplied by E, and you get heat emitted by ordinary body. So this is about the Stephen's law. After Stephen's law, there is one more law, Newton's law of cooling. Is a very famous law. According to Newton's law of cooling, the rate of loss of heat for a body, the rate of loss of heat for a body is directly proportional to temperature excess of the body over the surrounding. Directly proportional to temperature excess. But temperature excess म्हणजे काय? This is the temperature difference between body temperature and surrounding temperature. More is this temperature excess, more is the rate of loss of heat. We write this rate of loss of heat as dq upon dt. dq is heat loss, dt is time, rate of loss of heat proportional to theta minus theta 0, theta body temperature, theta 0 surrounding temperature. We convert proportionality into equality. So we write this dq upon dt as ms d theta. This dq upon dt, it is equal to k into theta minus theta 0. Now, according to the basic formula in thermodynamics, we know dq, heat loss or heat absorb, heat change. It is equal to mass specific heat into change in temperature. So divided by dt, dq upon dt, ms d theta upon dt, where d theta upon dt, this is called as rate of cooling, this is called as rate of fall of temperature or rate of cooling. So we can write this formula in terms of rate of cooling also. Rate of loss of heat, it is equal to k into theta minus theta 0. Now instead of dq upon dt, we put this value. इसकी जगह हमने क्या लिखा? मास स्पेसिफिक, ये वैल्यू ms d theta upon dt, k into theta minus theta 0. Therefore, d theta upon dt, rate of fall of temperature, it is equal to k upon ms theta minus theta 0, k constant, mass specific heat constant. This will be another constant. So we write this in proportionality d theta upon dt, rate of fall of temperature, rate of cooling directly proportional to temperature excess of the body over the surrounding. मुलांना तुम्हाला कळतोय का रेट ऑफ कूलिंग म्हणजे काय? चहाचा गरम कप घेतला आणि टेबलवर ठेवला, अगोदर त्याचं टेम्परेचर 75 आहे, 75 पासून त्याचं टेम्परेचर 70 पर्यंत व्हायला काहीतरी वेळ लागला, t1 मिनिट लागला, रेट ऑफ कूलिंग R1 आहे. टेम्परेचर डिक्रीज फ्रॉम 70 टू 65. सेकंड केस घेतली आपण, सेकंड केस मध्ये 70 पासून 65 पर्यंत डिक्रीज होतो. हियर टेम्परेचर चेंज बाय 5 डिग्री, टेम्परेचर चेंज बाय 5 डिग्री, rate of cooling R2, time of cooling T2. In third case, again temperature change by 5 degree, 65 to 60. आपण तिथे temperature measuring instrument, thermometer यूज केलाय आणि परत आपण मोजलाय, टाइम पण मोजलाय, स्टॉप वॉच आपल्याकडे आहे, नंतर रेट ऑफ कुलिंग मोजला. सगळ्यात जास्त रेट ऑफ कुलिंग कुठे भरेल रे? हा लॉ सांगतो ना, मोर द टेम्परेचर एक्सेस मोर इज द रेट ऑफ कुलिंग. अरे सराउंडिंग टेम्परेचर थीटा 0 असेल तर फर्स्ट केसमध्ये हा टेम्परेचर एक्सेस सगळ्यात जास्त असेल. इन सेकंड केस टेम्परेचर एक्सेस डिक्रीजेस. थर्ड केस टेम्परेचर एक्सेस फर्दर decreases. Therefore, rate of cooling in first case R1 should be greater than R2 should be greater than R3. जेव्हा चहा खूप गरम असेल तेव्हा तो जास्त हीट एमिट करेल, रेट ऑफ लॉस ऑफ हीट जास्त असेल. as its temperature decreases, rate of loss of heat goes on decreasing, and as rate of loss of heat decreases, then time of cooling, rate of cooling decreases but time of cooling increases. मग टाइम सगळ्यात जास्त कुठे लागेल? T3. इथे चहा थंड व्हायला जास्त टाइम लागेल, अगोदर तो लवकर कूल होईल. सो T3 ग्रेटर दॅन T2 ग्रेटर दॅन T3. दिस विल बी रिलेशन. ह्याच्यावर क्वेश्चन्स आलेले आहेत, थेरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन एक्झामिनेशन्सला. and if we plot the graph of d theta upon dt versus theta minus theta 0, it will be a straight line passing through origin. jar as a mixture of hydrogen oxygen in the ratio 1:5, ratio of mean kinetic energy. ह्या क्वेश्चन मध्ये तुम्हाला दिलं मिक्सचर. if it is mixture of two gases, then temperature of the mixture it is same. This temperature of first gas it is same as temperature of second gas. We are asked about the kinetic energy, ratio of kinetic energy, mean kinetic energy of hydrogen to oxygen molecule. Now kinetic energy per molecule is 3/2 kT. This is our basic formula. If it is a mixture, temperature is constant. Okay, K Boltzmann constant है तो constant है. So kinetic energy directly proportional to absolute temperature. If temperature constant, then kinetic energy must remain constant. Ratio is 1:1. It's last option. Second, RMS velocity of the particle is V at pressure P. Pressure increases 2 times, then RMS velocity becomes. Pressure is double. The RMS velocity is equal to under root of 3 RT by M. This is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Remember, RMS velocity does not depend on pressure, depends upon absolute temperature. So if temperature constant, then RMS velocity same. So our option is B. Speed is V. Then question number 3. In closed vessel, mass of each molecule is given, velocity of molecule is given, number of molecules given. Then you have to find out pressure. The basic formula of pressure, apply this formula. Pressure of the gas 1/3 mn c square upon V. You put the values of mass, number of molecules. You get option A, first option, 0.1 Newton per meter square. हे calculation तुम्ही घरी करा मुलांनो. Then question number 4. Densities of the two substances in the ratio 3:4. Specific heat in the ratio 2/3. Ratio of thermal capacity. Thermal capacity of that substance directly proportional to mass, directly proportional to specific heat. So if I write ratio of thermal capacity, ratio of mass, ratio of specific heat. But we know that mass is volume into density. M1 is V1 rho 1, M2 is V2 rho 2, specific heat S1 S2. It is given that volume same. So V1 by V2 is 1, rho 1 by rho 2 given 3/4, specific heat ratio given S1 by S2 2/3. So this ratio is 1/2. Option A is correct. Then go to question number 5. The volume of 2.8 gram of carbon monoxide, 27 degrees Celsius, 0.8 to 1 atmospheric pressure. You have to find out volume. And for that use our basic formula PV is equal to nRT, where n is number of moles. Number of moles is mass divided by molecular weight. हा आपल्याला बेटा कार्बन मोनॉक्साइड साठी काढायचा. कार्बन मोनॉक्साइड इट्स मॉलिक्युलर वेट इज 28. मॉलिक्युलर वेट ठेवा इथे व्हॅल्यू, तुम्हाला नंबर ऑफ मोल्स मिळेल. यू पुट व्हॅल्यू ऑफ आर टी पी एक्सेट्रा अँड कॅल्क्युलेट व्ही. तो व्हॉल्यूमचा आन्सर तुम्हाला मिळून जाईल. इट इज सेकंड ऑप्शन. इट विल बी 3 लिटर. इट विल बी 3 लिटर. Then question number 6. If at same temperature pressure, densities for two diatomic gases D1 D2, ratio of velocity. For the diatomic gas or for the gas, velocity inversely proportional to square root of density. So ratio of velocity V1 by V2 under root of D2 by D1. This will be our correct option. Root D2 by D1. Option A is correct. Then go to question number 7. Oxygen, hydrogen gases, same temperature. Ratio of average kinetic energy. Oxygen molecule to that of hydrogen molecule. Now they are at same temperature. Now we know that kinetic energy directly proportional to absolute temperature. 3 by 2 kT. Per molecule kinetic energy proportional to T. If T is same, then kinetic energy should remain same. So ratio is 1. 1:1. Option C is correct. Question number 8. Mean square velocity of 4 molecules having velocity 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to find out mean square velocity. This is mean square velocity. C1 square, C2 square to C4 square for 4 molecules divided by 4. 1 C2 square is 2 square, 4 plus 9 plus 16 by 4. It will be 7.5. Option A is correct. Then question number 9 is there. The ratio of RMS speed of molecule of the gas NTP to value 2457. RMS speed is directly proportional to square root of absolute temperature. Therefore, ratio of RMS speed C1 by C2 under root of T1 by T2. C1 by C2 under root of T1 is 273. T2 is 2457. This ratio 1 by 9, square root of 1 by 9 is 1 by 3. So option C is correct. 10. For two gases having same temperature, volume 1 and 2 liter, ratio of kinetic energy. Now here the gases are at same temperature. Temperature same, kinetic energy must be same. Ratio of kinetic energy will be 1:1. Option A is correct. And after that you go to unit 4. First question, metal ball surface area 200, temperature 527 degree, in surrounding 27. Emissivity of the ball is given. You have to find out rate of loss of heat for the ball. Now for the ball, rate of loss of heat आपको calculate करना है dq upon dt. तो formula आप क्या apply करोगे? Heat emitted by the ball per unit area per unit time sigma into E into T1 raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. So you put that values all E, A, sigma हे सगळं दिलेलं आहे. Rate of loss of heat calculate करा. Option C will be correct. 182 joule approx. Second, emissive power of the surface of the sphere 0.5, 400 degree Kelvin. For perfectly black it is 5, same temperature. Then emissivity of the sphere. I have to find out emissivity. Emissivity of the sphere, coefficient of emission, ratio of emissive power of ordinary body to black body. Ordinary body is a delay 0.5, for black body 5, so it is 0.1. 3. Emissive power of tungsten filament at certain temperature 95400 joule per meter square. Absorptive power is given. Assuming filament perfectly black, it's emissive power. Now, if filament is perfectly black, emissive power, it is equal to emissive power of ordinary filament divided by coefficient of absorption. Ordinary filament 95400, absorption coefficient, this is given 63.6 10 raised to minus 2. Take this ratio, it is 1.5 10 raised to 5. That is option D. Then question number 4. 150 joule radiant energy incident on 2 meter square area, 15 joule reflected, absorption coefficient 0.6, amount of energy transmitted, incident energy 150, reflected energy 15. You find first amount of energy absorbed, A into Q, absorption coefficient 0.6, Q 150, so 90 joule absorbed. So transmitted energy 150 minus this energy, तर ही एनर्जी किती आहे 15 प्लस 90, 15 प्लस 90 105, हा यातून सबट्रॅक्ट करा, इट विल बी 45 जूल. ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट. आफ्टर दॅट क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, 160 joule of thermal energy incident, 0.5 meter square area. Surface opaque having reflection coefficient 0.2. Energy reflected absorbed. Now you are given incident energy 160. Reflection coefficient 0.2. 0.2 multiplied by 160. This is amount of energy reflected, RQ. So it will be 32 joule. Second option is correct. 6. Perfectly black body emit total energy, it is given in 50 minutes, area 10 meter square, emissive power. Direct formula application, emissive power, radiant heat emitted per unit area per unit time, emitted 5 10 raised to 2, area is 10 and time is 50 minutes, 50 into 60, 0.016. Option C is correct. 7. Radiant energy 500 joule incident on the surface 300 degree Kelvin, 180 joule absorbed. Coefficient of emission of the surface at same temperature. Coefficient of emission, it is same as coefficient of absorption. Heat absorbed divided by heat incident. Absorb it 180, incident 500. 180 upon 500, that is 18 by 50, that is 36 by 100, it is 0.36. Second option. 8. Black body at temperature 227, radiate heat at a rate 5. Rate of radiation at 727. So this is a ratio type problem. Rate of radiation directly proportional to T raised to 4. So Q1 by Q2, T1 by T2 raised to 4. You solve this, you get second rate as 80 calorie per centimeter square. Then question number 9. Find energy radiated in 2 minutes. Area 300, maintain at 400 degree Kelvin. Coefficient of absorption 0.8. Find energy radiated, use this formula, Kirchhoff's law, Stephen's law of radiation, Q upon 80, E sigma T raised to 4. So Q is E sigma T raised to 4, area into time. Put all these numerical values, you get that answer as 4203 joule. Last option is correct. 10. Sphere radius 5 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Maintain at constant temperature. Radiate at a rate 0.5. What will be the emissive power? Emissive power, heat radiated per unit area per unit time. Heat radiated 0.5 10 raised to 3. 0.5 kilocalorie 10 raised to 3 calorie. Convert calorie into joule. Multiply by 4200. Area pi r square. Put value of radius and time is 1 minute 60 seconds. So you get this answer 1114 watt per meter square. Question number 11. Metal sphere cools at a rate of 3 degrees Celsius per minute. Temperature 50 degrees Celsius. Temperature of surrounding 25. Rate of cooling at 40 degrees Celsius. The rate of cooling directly proportional to temperature excess, theta minus theta 0. So ratio of rate of cooling, R2 by R1, theta 2 minus theta 0, theta 1 minus theta 0. Initial rate of cooling is 3, for that temperature is 50, surrounding temperature 25. New rate of cooling to calculate, temperature 40, surrounding 25. A difference gap 15, this difference is 25, take ratio and solve this question. You will get answer as 9 by 5, 9 by 5 means 18 by 10. It's 1.8 degrees Celsius per minute.